Let's bring in Norah O'Donnell. She's MSNBC's chief Washington correspondent. Eugene Robinson, of course, the columnist for the Washington Post. And Mark Halperin is also joining us. He's senior MSNBC political analyst and editor-at-large at Time Magazine. Mark, I want you to hold on for a second. Norah, we were just talking beforehand about 10 years ago. This has been a saga for very young people in their teens. It's the only world. You were covering the Pentagon that day down here, the other part of this tragedy.
I was assigned to go cover the Pentagon after the 9/11 attacks and then traveled the world with Secretary Rumsfeld and talked to him many times about what it would mean to finally catch and kill Osama bin Laden. But I think today for the president is a moment not just to acknowledge the families and the loss that they suffered nearly 10 years ago, but also to pay tribute to the firefighters who the president met today, the pride of Midtown Firehouse, which lost 15 firefighters on 9/11 and left 28 children without parents. And then I think that's why this other very poignant moment where the president today meeting with this 14-year-old Peyton Hall, who lost her father in the World Trade Center attack, that the lives that have been forever changed by this attack and hurt so deeply, as the city, New York City, has been hurt so deeply, and here in Washington, too, the Pentagon, and, of course, in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, that this is kind of a moment of reflection. A moment of reflection. I think that's what the president wanted this to be.
You were editing the style section of the Washington Post that day.
I was actually working out of the gym when it happened, and ran through the shower, threw on my clothes, literally ran to the Post through the back alleys, and remember as I was crossing 16th Street, there was a man who was just yelling something about the Pentagon. Something was happening at the Pentagon. It was a day we'll never forget, hard as we might try. And today, seeing the president at Ground Zero can't help but remind you of the last time we had this image of a president at that site, President Bush, of course, a few days after
his finest moment.
9/11. Absolutely. I was so proud of him that day. I think we all were proud of him that day when he said, I can hear you now, and soon the people who knock down these towers will hear from us all. It was an incredible moment. This does, can you ever close the circle? I'm not sure, but this comes close, I think.
Mark Halperin, we're looking at the cover of Newsweek, just came out. I guess this is the issue we're looking at. It's the picture of Osama bin Laden. Is Mark going?
No,
is Mark going?
I'm here, Chris.
Yes, Time Magazine. There it is. Like I'm looking at a picture. Mark, this story, it goes in a circle now from the president, George W.'s commitment to get the bad guys to catching the worst of them.
It's a great moment for the country, Chris, and it's our government doing what the first priority of government is, which is protecting us in a dangerous world where the United States has a lot of power but a lot of enemies. And President Obama is doing, I think, a fantastic job of filling out the part of the job which is somewhat ceremonial and somewhat theatrical, and he does it with emotion and with grace. And I think the military action that has led to this moment is an act of violence and an act of aggression in response to the attack. And now the president is doing something that's more peaceful and more reflective, and it's great for this city and it's great for the country.